So there we go. So until next time. Oops. Hello, my fellow geeks. I'm Mark, and today on Elite Geek, we are going to watch The Empire Strikes Back. Kind of. This, if you haven't seen these online, is a movie palette. I've seen them. I always thought they were gorgeous. And I'll be honest, I get offers for a lot of crap just by having this channel. Most of it has nothing to do with the channel at all. You do not want to see me do makeup videos. But when Movie Palette reached out to see if I would like one of these to review, I jumped at the chance. They gave me an option of what movie to go with, and I chose The Empire Strikes Back because I think it's gorgeous. Now, if you don't know what a movie palette is, we'll look in more detail here in just a few minutes on their website. But basically what they do is they take every shot in the movie, they take the primary color from that shot, and put them all incrementally in line. So here we have Hoth, where we're on Hoth, and we start to have an escape. Actually, at the very beginning here, we have the launch of the probe droids, and then we have Hoth, and we go through with multiple scenes with Hoth, with some combat in the middle, a little back in space, back in Hoth again. Then we have the escape, where we take off and we have the asteroid fields. There's several things that happen in there. We end up on Dagobah. Eventually we go through, and I love this right here. We get to Bespin. You know, when they fly in, there's those great orange colors. We go through, Bespin has some different scenes around where we've got some white halls that they walk through. We end up back on Dagobah. I mean, it goes through the whole movie, and you can just pick it out. Some movies have more detail than others. We'll look at a couple of them. This decision was really hard between a couple of them, but I decided in the end, based on the channel, I just had to go with Star Wars and it's Empire, right? It's Empire. So this is the Movie Palette website where you can choose which film you're going to use. There's a link for this down below. There's also a coupon code for an extra 15% off of whatever the prices are marked at the time. I did find they vary a little bit, but use that code ELITE15 for an additional 15% off. Right here from the start, number one was Empire. So, I mean, it kind of made it an obvious choice right there. It's one of the most popular movies that they have on here. But then right next to it, look at that, Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh. Depends a lot on your environment where you're going to use it. I've kind of debated where I'm going to put mine. I'm going to show you one of the ideas I have here in just a minute. And then one of the criticisms I've seen for these is that you're paying for an expensive barcode, and you can kind of see that with Interstellar. Interstellar's mostly black and white. It's not as exciting as a lot of the other options. But Titanic looks great. And it gives a good example here of what it's doing. I'm flying, and Rose and Jack in the Water, we're dark and blue. One of the things that surprised me on the Empire Strikes Back one was there wasn't a lot of green. And you think Dagobah, you think green. And watching the movie back to kind of compare and put those scenes together, it's not as green as you think it is. It's a lot more blue, and then his suit is super orange, and it's just not as green as I expected. So when I looked at it, I'm like, where's Dagobah? I'm like, no, that's actually what the movie looks like. So here we are on all movies, and we're just going to look at a couple of examples here. So we've got The Empire Strikes Back, which is what I went with. Lord of the Rings, which was very difficult. And part of the problem I have with both of these and picking them is I want all three of them. I mean, it's a trilogy. You need all three of them. And we also had some debate on which way do you do them. Do you do them in chronological order? So you go first movie, second movie, third movie, or do you go first movie, second movie, third movie? And it could work either way. I kind of like the top-down approach, but I see the allure of having them all in order. But look at Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049, which I've seen and it was kind of okay. Really colorful. Would have to watch that movie again. Jurassic Park surprised me a lot. It's very pastel, and it gets darker as the movie goes, just like the movie does itself. Then you have Revenge of the Sith here. Look at Revenge of the Sith. Oh gee, what happens here? There we go. Look at that. Super red. We're on Mustafar. Things are going badly. Lord of the Rings Return of the King is another good one. Lord of the Rings trilogy. Man, those would look great all combined on the wall. Princess Bride disappointed me a little bit. It's very brown. It's a very brown movie. There's not a lot of color to it. It's just not going to be that exciting. As much as I love that movie, it's not the right one for me. Then look at Into the Spider-Verse and The Matrix. Like the Matrix that's a green movie. That whole movie is just green. Different shades of green through the whole movie. So they have, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of options here. You can kind of go through and look at all of them and figure out combination of what's the right movie for you. Is it The Lion King, which is super bright being animated, or is it about what movie speaks to you the most? Is it super brown Pulp Fiction? There's probably somebody, or The Godfather. They love their browns in the 70s, that's for sure. Any of Disney's animated movies. seem to be a good fit. Beauty and the Beast, that'd be great. So we're going to look at the options that you can have for it. You can have the movie name or not. I like the movie name just because then people can look at it and get a better sense of what it is. Standard canvas versus premium canvas. The premium canvas has a glossy coat on it. There's more texture. Honestly, in the video that I filmed, it looks a little speckled, and it doesn't look like that at all in person on the wall. The standard canvas is more of a matte canvas, and it's not quite as thick, which honestly might have been better for me with what I'm going to use it for, potentially. And then you've got sizes. Lots of different sizes. Everywhere from a little 20 by 8 inch to a 20 inch, 50 inches. I mean, you better have a big room for that to go on the wall. And what is the highest price we've got here? For $300, I mean, it's $320. That does seem really, really high for me. The one I've got is a 30 by 12 premium, so it's $140. I've got the one, I don't know, that is a lot of money, but it's art. So that's the way I have to look at it. It's art. Yes, it's lines on a canvas, but it is a very nice canvas. And when you look at it, there is a nice artistic value to it. And if you just think it's dumb and not worth that, that's fine. Whatever. I liked them as soon as I saw them the first time. So since I'm pretty sure my wife is not actually watching the video at this point, she's surely turned it off. I can show you, it's ironic that the main film that they have listed there is Titanic. That was our very first date. Our first date was a blind date to see Titanic, and the rest is history. And because of that, this would make a great anniversary present, I think, to put on the wall in our bedroom. We've got Titanic, and you can just kind of see the whole movie as it's lined up. The question is, what size am I willing to pay for? I don't think I want the 50 inch. That's too much. Too much for me. If you had a dedicated theater room, something like that would be good. But I think I'd rather have a trilogy put together in a 3 movie set. Probably not The Matrix, because it's just green, green, green. Anyway, if you found this video useful, leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know which movie you found. If you scroll through here, which ones did I miss? I didn't go through all of them. And they can, oh yeah, there you go. They can custom make your movies for you too, if you have one that you really want that isn't on here. Links for the website and the discount codes are down below. Just put that in at the register for an additional 15% off. Like I mentioned, this is kind of a sponsored video because they sent me one for review. They let me pick out which one I wanted. But now, especially seeing the Titanic one, probably is something I would have gotten anyway. So what am I going to do with it? Well, let's take a look. Right behind me, this is my camera that I use for work every day. And I have the Death Star that I got for, I don't know, for my birthday or Father's Day or something like that. But you can see the reflections sometimes actually cause me an issue. So what I'm thinking is I'll do this. There, I'm sure that didn't line up at all. But there we go. I've just got it basically sticky taped to the wall before I put a hanger up to see what it looks like behind me as a reference. I'm sure it'll bring up a lot of questions on my calls. One of the big things for me is it doesn't hit my chair anymore, which was one of the problems I had. If you've seen any of my other videos and you wondered, why is the Death Star picture upside down? Well, that was why, because it hit my chair. That's not a problem here. And I think I'm looking at my screen over here to see what it looks like. I think that looks pretty good. Problem I do have here is I can't put up 3 of them. There's not enough room for that, or it would hit my chair again, and that's no good. So there we go. So until next time. Oops. I hope I didn't hurt it.